Okay, guys. Today I thought we could discuss the powers of officers of the Department of GST. Now, most of the powers are actually assigned to people above the rank of Assistant Commissioners of GST. And some of the higher powers are restricted to Chief Commissioners and Commissioners. Now, let's look at them one by one. The most primary power of an officer in the Department of GST is the power to search and seizure. It's called search and seizure. Means he has the power to search any premise with the sanction of the Assistant Commissioner and seize any goods or commodity which he feels has been stored there defrauding the Department of GST or under fraudulent practices trying to evade GST tax. Okay? So the fundamental power is called the power of search and seizure. Now, while you watch some of the slides, I will explain further. Slides, please. Okay. The GST Act empowers the officers to do very many things. You may be wondering whether an officer of the Department of GST has powers of arrest. The general belief is that only the police can arrest. But then please note, with the permission of the Assistant Commissioner, an officer of the Department of GST can arrest any person whom he believes is evading tax, providing misinformation, doing malpractices, and doing fraudulent practices, trying to evade GST. So GST officer has powers to arrest as well. Next slide, please. Now, ITC powers. This speaks about GST officers' ITC powers. A GST officer has powers to inspect whether the claim of ITC is genuine. Many a time what happens is people create false invoices to prove that they have purchased something and they are eligible for ITC now, but actually they have not purchased anything, and they claim the ITC when it comes to the finished product GST. Now, the GST officers have full and complete powers to see if there is any misappropriation or manipulation of the input tax credit, one of the significant powers of the GST office. Many a time, see, even if you don't pay up for a purchase for 6 months or more, your ITC gets automatically nullified. You're not eligible for ITC anymore, because if you don't pay for the purchase within 6 months, the government presumes that you have not purchased at all. And when you have not purchased at all, obviously you are not eligible for any ITC. Next slide, please. Okay. This is one of the primary powers of the GST officers. Access to business premises. See, please note, you cannot say a GST officer cannot come into your factory, your warehouse, your house without your permission. They can, of course, come in. They can crash in. They can force their entrance if they have an order from the Assistant Commissioner, so that they can inspect and make sure whether there is any attempt to defraud the Department of GST and the Government of India. So they have powers of access to any premises, be it private, be it public, be it professional, be it commercial, be it corporate, be it manufacturing, whatever. So they have powers of access. Back to you, please. Done. Okay. The chief commissioners and commissioners have additional powers. One of the significant powers that they hold is the power of revision. A chief commissioner or commissioner can revise any of the decisions taken by a junior officer. Or in other words, an order passed by Assistant Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner can be revised by the Commissioner or Chief Commissioner. So this is called powers of revision. But then please note, all these officers can only act as per the provisos of the GST Act. They cannot pass an order which actually changes the GST Act. The GST Act can be amended only by the GST Council. And the GST Council, as you are aware, comprises of the Union Finance Minister and the state finance ministers of all the states and union territories. So only the GST Council can change a provision in the GST Act. But the commissioners can act within the boundaries of the GST Act and revise any order of penalty, order of search, order of seizure, order of access, whatever, passed by a junior officer. So broadly, you can define the power of a GST officer as power of access to any premises, power of search, power of seizure, if required, power to arrest, power to impose penalties within the provisos of the GST Act. And the higher officers, the Chief Commissioner and the Commissioners, have powers of revision, that is to change an order passed by a junior officer. Well, so this is quite a powerful department, and be careful when you deal with GST officers. They are as powerful as the police officers when it comes to tax. Thank you very much.